Okay, I'm gonna try to make this review with my iPhone camera. I think it's gonna be a little bit easier for me to review and talk about this piece and then upload it to YouTube. I have tons of videos on my high definition camcorder, but it takes too long a process to download and edit and upload. So let me see how this works, how the quality is, and I'll see if I like it, and I can use that as a shortcut. But enough of the preliminaries. Let's talk about the piece in hand. So this is the Punisher custom statue. I apologize, I don't know who sculpted it. I think a gentleman by the name of Sandro Grutter was the one who commissioned it, and he was the one who put together this custom. Now, to begin with, and I'm not a Punisher collector. This is my only Punisher piece and will likely be the only one I ever own. But I bought this mainly because when you look at the comic book art that this is inspired from, and you look at what they've done, the sculptor has just done a phenomenal, breathtaking job in translating the two-dimensional comic art into a three-dimensional piece. A lot of statues that are being created, both officially and custom, have a lot of intricacy, have a lot of moving parts, and while I certainly can respect and appreciate the impetus behind that and understand why people like that, I think it does lose a little bit of presence when it comes to having too many different heads, too many different arms and poses and interchangeable guns, and it becomes a little bit gimmicky, turns a statue into a toy-like situation, and like with Hot Toys, when they have 5 heads, 19 arms, etc. And there is something to be said about a strong clarity of vision and art design where this is the piece you get. It's the design that the artist has decided to give you, and it's supposed to create a certain emotion, a certain feeling, and there you have it. And this piece is not the most detailed necessarily, most complicated Punisher statue, but in terms of, I feel, the attitude, in terms of just the emotion coming off of the piece, in terms of how it makes you feel, it's just amazing. I mean, I think, in my opinion, this is the best Punisher statue ever made. Better than the Sideshow 5th scale comic cat, better than the upcoming XM version of the bike, better than some other customs I've seen. I mean, this is it. It's, to me, perfectly encapsulates the strength and kind of the dangerous side and the anti-hero side, the attitude, the cockiness, the arrogance of the character, and it's from a magnificent cover inspired by that. So let's kind of look at the nitty-gritty of it. So here, let's take a look at the head sculpt. This head sculpt is amazingly done and also amazingly painted. Obviously, in the statue of this type, the head sculpt is very important, and you can tell a lot of time and attention was placed on it. I mean, honestly, this is like one of the best paint jobs I've ever seen on a head. I don't think this was translucent resin, but it's just painted so well that almost might be translucent resin, or what they call intrinsic resin. It's just perfectly painted. Sorry if I went a little bit out of focus. I think Catwoman's making it a little bit difficult. I'm trying to get a little bit close up, but you can see the sort of the stubble of the beard. You can see the scar on the chin right there. The expression, the slicked back hair. There's a little glint in his eye. Just amazing. Okay, amazing portrait. And then of course the bulging muscles. It's a little bit. You can see the veins popping out. I mean, a little bit of sheen, almost like there's sweat. Of course, the iconic Punisher shirt. All of this meticulously painted. Here's all the wrinkles of the shirt right here. And if you go down, You can actually see the texture, hopefully, of the pants right here. This holster has the gun that can actually come out. You can open it. It's held together by magnets, placed on the thigh. And then, of course, the large gun rests in his arms or in his hands. And then a very nice simple base with the Punisher logo on it. And the bullets scattered throughout. I mean, that's it really, you know? It's just the power of the piece, the pose, the attitude, the detail of the musculature. It's really a perfect representation of the cover. Just an amazing tour de force of sculpting and painting that I think in just such an amazing way, such a unique way captures the essence of the Punisher character. And even for someone like me who's not a Punisher fan, don't really know much about the character other than just very general things, I had to get it because it's just one of the most amazing, amazingly sculpted and amazingly painted statues I've ever seen. And I just don't think I'll ever need another version of Frank Castle in my collection to represent him. So having said this, you know, I'm okay, despite what I said earlier about just like too many different things, too many switch outs. I mean, I think a different head sculpt is fine. You know, a lot of statues have a different head sculpt. I think that's well enough as long as that's really all there is. So you can take this head off. It's magnetized very, very securely. And then I'm going to put on the other head sculpt, like so. And here you go. This one just also amazing. You can see just the scars on his face, another expression. You know, I like the first one just a little bit better, mainly because that's the one from the comic book cover. But this is also just amazing. Look at that. It doesn't get better than this, folks. This is already sold out. I think they made only about 50 of these, so quite limited. You know, and it doesn't come cheap. You know, originally it didn't come cheap, as you would expect for something like this. It was probably close to $800 to $1,000 shipped, even when it was just originally, you know, available. Now that it's sold out, I think the value is probably going to keep going up as people realize how amazing this is. So if you're fortunate enough to find one at a reasonable price, should definitely add this to your collection, because I think there's a lot of fans, like if someone who doesn't even collect Punisher statues decided to get this and then keep it, then you can imagine what others who do like the character will do. This is a piece that is unlikely to leave very many collectors' collections. And there's only 50, so they're going to get very, very scarce, and the value is going to skyrocket. All right, very good. So hopefully the quality is okay. I'll review the Catwoman behind over his shoulder in a second. But hopefully the quality is okay. It'll show reasonably well. Quarter scale and extremely heavy, by the way. The packaging could not be better. Comes in layers. And again, one of the nice things about a statue that's, you know, as solid as this with all these different moving parts is you don't get a lot of damage. Less chance of damage. All right, thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll be able to show a little bit more of my collection and some of the other pieces I have later.